I don't know. And then let me share my screen. Let me know when you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we're good. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I am so excited to share with all of you this amazing technology that has really changed my life and my family's life for this past 8 months that we've been using it. So, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Monica Suarez. I am a mom of three little ones, a wife. I'm from Bolivia, living in the US for almost 24 years now, a long time. And the question for tonight is, have you been patched yet? This is a little patch. And like I said, I saw the patch back in April when I was in a business trip in Puerto Rico with my friends. And I saw a few of them using the patch. So I started asking them, like, what is the patch? Why are you using it for? I'm very curious. If you know me. And they started telling me that, one of them was using it for depression, the other one for muscle pain, and they started explaining all about it. So I thought, interesting, because I am having stomach problems. Anything that I would eat, my stomach gets bloated. I look honestly like I'm 3 months pregnant, and it hurts. It's very uncomfortable. So I started, listen to them, and then I did my research. I also thought about my dad because my dad is 84 years old, has diabetes, heart problems, you name it. So I did my research for a few months because, like many of you, I was like, what? A little sticker doing all that? Really? So I did my research, and it was just in July. So what, 2, 3 months that I was, listening to the different testimonies, seeing my friends getting amazing results, and then I jumped in. I said, let me try it. Change my screen here. Let me try it, and the worst thing that can happen is it's not going to work, right? So my personal experience. The first week using the patch, I started feeling more energy. And as a mom especially, that is really amazing because I was always tired, at the end of the after lunch, I needed my second cup of coffee. In the middle of the afternoon, I needed my third cup of coffee to keep going. Otherwise, I would honestly be like falling asleep. And after that, I didn't need my 3 cups of coffee anymore. I only have my first one, that it's my religious one, and then I had all the energy. I feel like it was the same way when before having kids. That energy that you wake up and you're like ready to go the whole day. And I got better sleep too. And as a mom, I know many of you are going to understand. Same thing. I would wake up in the middle of the night because any of my kids need me. Then would go back to bed and I would be awake for the longest time trying to fall asleep again. Since I started using the patch on the first week, and I started sleeping better. I fell asleep better. I would still hear them when they need me, so I was still alert, but I would get back to my bed and fall asleep fast, which that was my problem. And then endurance. So that first week that we started using the patch, that I started using the patch, it was vacation. And my kiddos wanted to go riding bikes. We went to ride our bikes, and I haven't done that since COVID. So it's been years. And I had more resistance than my daughter. My daughter, back then, she was 9, she just turned 10, she kept asking for breaks. And I was like, really? I can still go? And you are asking me for breaks. So that was something I honestly did not expect. And my stomach problems, like I said, they were really bothering me for the longest time. And by July, when I started, it was because I really couldn't take it anymore. I needed something. And when I went to the doctor, obviously the doctor told me, oh, you can take this medication, go get this over the counter. And I was like, no, it's, once you start something for one problem, then you start another problem. So I didn't want that, but the patch helped me. I don't have more inflammation in my stomach. It doesn't hurt. So it's been a blessing. Mental clarity. So again, as a mom, we start forgetting everything. I think it happens with age, obviously, but I feel like as a mom, kids keep taking parts of our brain every time that we have kids. And I would forget everything. Like, go to a room and then you don't remember why you're here. It was bad though. So after 6 weeks that I started using the patch, that got better. I started remembering more things, knowing what I'm doing, feeling honestly more alert. Better skin, you can feel the skin softer, glowing. But for me, what it was most important and special, I want to say, it was my dad's results. So my dad, like I told you, he's 84 years old and has diabetes, heart problems, arthritis. And one of the things that started with him, the first result that we saw on the second week, everybody's different. Everybody, some people can start feeling results on the first week, first month, second month. So everybody's different. My dad started feeling on the second week. we were having dinner, and he always had pain in his fingers. He has arthritis and he has trigger finger. So his fingers would get stuck. They would hurt, and he would need the other hand to open, to move his fingers, and it would really hurt and make a noise. So we were having dinner, and he starts moving his hand that he couldn't move like this. He didn't even have the strength. And he says, one thing that the patch is helping me, I can move my fingers and they don't hurt. And he was moving them. I had a video. I wanted to play it, but I think my computer is really old that it was just getting stuck. So I had to take it off. But I have the video. I can share with anybody that wants. It was so good to see him, moving his hands and just saying that he doesn't have pain anymore. And it didn't make the sound like he always said, please don't click. So that was amazing. With his diabetes, we saw amazing results too. On the second week using the patch, the doctor told him to try not using the insulin, that he's been using it for 30 years. So we've been seeing a lot of amazing results with him as well. Now, let me tell you about the inventor, the genius behind all these patches. His name is David Schmidt. He is a scientist and inventor. He's the CEO for LifeWave. And since he was a little, David wanted to be an inventor. And his dad told him that's not a profession. So that was there. But he kept going for his dream. And 20 years ago, the government hired him to work for the Navy SEALs, to invent something for them to have more energy, to be more awake. Because they were obviously, taking energy drinks, you name it, to stay awake. And so he invented the first patch, the energy enhancer, that it was exactly for that, to give them more energy. But after that, September 11 came, the government focused more on weapons. And he said, okay, now it's my time to go my own way. He started talking to doctors, inventors. And it was then that a very important doctor introduced him to the coach of the swim team for the Stanford University. And I don't know if you guys remember, back in 2004 for the Olympics, the swim team for the US, the Stanford swim team, they were breaking records. They were doing much better than all the other swimmers. And they noticed that they were wearing a patch. So everybody started wondering, what's that patch? What does it have? So they had to send them for testing. And obviously they came back as being all natural and nothing bad was in there, no drugs, nothing. After that, he started specializing in age reversing. And in 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. That's when our patch came, the X39, the one that I'm going to be talking about. So this patch took 10 years and over $4.5 million to bring in the market. We have, this slide, sorry, it's a little bit old. He just announced that we have 200 patents. I mean, who do you know that has one patent? This guy has 200. He is amazing. And this is with all of our patches. But in one part of the patent for the X39, the one that I'm going to be talking about, it says that as a result of elevating copper peptide, which I'm going to be explaining, includes activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants. And that, the stem cell part, is what makes us different from anything else in the market. So do you guys remember when you were kids, right? How you used to feel with that energy, that unlimited energy, you could go on and on. I have my 3-year-old that, guys, he can go on and on the whole day. Like if he likes a game, he's like, more, again. And it could be us jumping in the trampoline. Oh my God, the whole day I'm with him, and it's like nonstop. I love it. And we owe it to our stem cells. All that energy is because kids have a lot of stem cells. We are born with a lot of stem cells. But as we age, part of the aging process is that our stem cells go dormant. So they go to sleep, per se. So by the age of 30, half of our stem cells are dormant. By the age of 60, we only have 10% of our stem cells working. And that's why we start seeing, as we turn 30, we start seeing wrinkles, we start getting tired, our body starts to hurt, we get sick, you name it, right? And it only gets worse as we age. So our patches work with phototherapy. LifeWave patches work with phototherapy with infrared light that our bodies generate. And you might say, Moni, what infrared light? My body doesn't generate any light. What are you talking about? So I've learned that as human beings, we produce infrared light. It's that light that if you see in the movies, when the police is chasing a robber or somebody at night, they put the goggles for infrared light and they see this red shape of the person. Same thing as hunters do with, hunting at night with the animals. That's the light that we produce, our infrared light. And here I'm going to explain how the X39 works. So, like I said, it's phototherapy. Oh, but hold on. I wanted to explain. It's the same idea as with vitamin D. So when we are vitamin D deficient, we go to the doctor. The doctor tells us go to the outside in the sun and just get some sunlight, or obviously go to the pharmacy and get vitamin D. So we all prefer to go to the sun. And it's not that the sun is producing vitamin D, it's the sun sending signals to our body to produce vitamin D. So we produce vitamin D, it's our own body. So it's the same idea with our patches. Our patches, so if you see it, this white circle are nanocrystals. These nanocrystals work like mirrors, reflecting that light, that infrared light that we produce, reflecting it back to our bodies. And with that light, it's a specific frequency. It helps activate our copper peptides. I always forget that word, the copper peptides. And then those are the ones that help activate our dormant stem cells. So the stem cells that are sleeping, if you want to say. They are non-transdermal, so nothing gets in the body. It's not like, what is the smoking patches, the nicotine patches that your body actually it's taking something. This nothing goes into your body. No drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, non-invasive. So the benefits that the X39 gives us, what we can say is that it increases our strength, reduces inflammation, like I said with my dad, right? Increases stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, it restores muscle or skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, improves skin appearance as well. But what we've been seeing for the past 8 months, and obviously for the past 4 years with this patch, we've been helping kids with autism, ADHD, people with depression, people with pain in their body, with different health conditions, elderly like my dad. I'll keep telling you more about my dad. It's amazing. One thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about kids, for example, when a kid that we were saying that they have a lot of stem cells, right? And it's why they have so much energy. If, for example, they break a bone, they go to the doctor and the doctor puts a cast, and after 6 weeks, they're fine, right? It's not like the cast heal the bone. It's the actual stem cells that are doing their job, right? Because they have so many. So, for example, us now, if we break our arm, we would need more than just a cast. Maybe we're going to need surgery, maybe, who knows? But it's going to take longer. Now, with my dad, and that's why I went back to that example, my dad, a month ago, he fell and he broke 6 ribs and 1 was dislocated. So 7 ribs, were bad. Since he fell, he's been doing like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. And it's been 8 months that he's been using the patch. And he's 84 years old. The doctor couldn't believe how he was walking. He was doing everything as he had 6 fractured ribs, right? We had to keep telling him, slow down. You can't do this. You can't do this. You need to relax. You need to sit down. And now, 2 days ago, the doctor called me. We just did another set of x-rays just the past week. And he only has 3 broken ribs. So 3 already healed. And again, he's 84 years old. This happened a month ago. The only explanation is the doctor was like, I cannot explain. And I was like, it's the patch. I mean, the patch is helping his ribs heal, obviously. Because if you know what the stem cell does, if, let's say you're having problems with your kidney and your stem cells are, activating, getting regenerated, they are going to regenerate or get activated as a kidney cell to help healing your body. So that's what they do. They heal our body. And let me just come here too. Oops. Okay. So long-term results. Okay, the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, brain becomes balanced. Like I told you, 6 weeks I started feeling that. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. And it's funny, I know Vero always laughs at me. I always thought collagen was skin, hair, and nails. But I've learned that it's everything in our bodies, our arteries, our bones, everything in our body. So we are getting healed from the inside out. So it's amazing. So it's not only that you're going to see better skin, you're healing from inside. Within 6 months, heart reverses in age. So like David Schmidt says, it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing, which is amazing. Now, how you wear the X39 patch. You put it on, let's say you wake up at 7, You put it on for 12 hours. At 7 at night, you remove it and you throw it away. And then you start again with, the next one the next day. Each envelope comes with 30 patches. So it's one for every day for a month. And then you put another patch on the next day for 12 hours, and 12 hours you take it off. And you can wear more than one patch. We have several patches in total. We have like 11 patches, I guess. And you need to drink a lot of water. It's very important for your cells to drink a lot of water. Now, let me quickly talk to you about LifeWave, the company. It is a 20-year-old company. Last year, we just celebrated the 20 years. It operates in more than 80 countries. So that means that in more than 80 countries, I can help people get their health back, healthier, heal whatever they need to heal. And it's amazing. It's an innovative and patent product. Like I said, no, I don't think I mentioned, I did, right? That he has 200 patents now. That's amazing. And since the X39 patch was launched in 2019, our growth rate went for 3,000%. Oh my God, between 2019 to 2024 from last year. So we went from $20 million to over 600 in 4 years. That's crazy. We were just named for the second year in a row the fastest growing direct selling company in the world for the second year. So not in the US, the world. We also won the Bravo Growth Award from Direct Selling. I think it's for 2 times too, second time. Okay. Now, in this past 20 years, we've been seeing a lot of athletes use the patch, which is great. Now, in the past Olympics too, we were able to see a few of them using it. It was really exciting to see. But we recently saw Mike Tyson use it for his fight when he was preparing. I think he did a documentary, and he was wearing the patches, which was really, really excited to see. So people are starting to find out about LifeWave, about the patches, and little by little, more people are finding out. But this year, Netflix is having a documentary about LifeWave, about David Smith, the patch, and everything that is coming, because he has amazing, amazing products, mind-blowing products coming this coming year. So anybody who doesn't know about LifeWave yet will, because when you have a documentary on Netflix, it just explodes. And since we are in all over the world, the whole world is gonna know. Now, quickly, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the business opportunity with LifeWave. Can you still see my screen? Yes, good. Okay. So now, where am I? Okay.
Excuse me. I think somebody else had the microphone open and it sometimes gets on noisy.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Let me see. I don't know if I can mute. I'm asking. Oh, I didn't. Look at that. I'm learning. Thank you. All right. So, okay. Now I want to ask all of you, who doesn't need or would like an extra income right now that everything is, crazy all over the world? It could be for savings for your family vacation, to pay credit cards, you name it. When I first learned about LifeWave back in April, like I said, I wasn't looking for another business. I already have my plate really, really full with kids and everything. But when I saw the real results people were getting with the patches, I knew I had something special in my hands. To be successful with a business like this, you need 3 key things. You need a product that is changing lives, exclusivity, something that no one else has it, the opportunity to be a pioneer in the industry. So LifeWave checks all of the 3 boxes. It's a solid 20-year-old company operating in over 80 countries, experiencing record-breaking growth. You guys, 3,000% in climbing. It's insane. This isn't just any product. It's backed by 200 patents and over 80 clinical studies. So we've done over 80 clinical studies, making it a one-of-a-kind technology that no one else can replicate. And that's because of the patents. People, as you may know, are traveling to other countries to get stem cell injections, which are someone else's stem cells. It's not their own. And in many cases, the body rejects them because they're not their own. And they are extremely, extremely expensive. With our patch, people get to activate their own stem cells, and for a very affordable price. And that's why doctors are joining, because their patients are seeing results that medications, unfortunately, could not deliver. And the best part, in my case, I run this business from my home around my kids' crazy schedule. Bus driver, everything. I'm everything. And simply by sharing something that is really working. And now we're going to hear from some of my dear friends. Let me put, where's my slide for the testimonies? Here it is. Is it, can you see it, guys? Oh, there it goes. Okay, okay, sorry. I'm gonna ask my dear friend Veronica if you can please share your testimony with us.
Yes, of course. My pleasure. You guys can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm in the car. Crazy Sundays like always, but this is a great opportunity for me to share my story. Besides all the wonderful benefits that Moni said that the patch does for you, like energy, vitality, increasing sleep, all that slide that Moni did. I have to say, in my particular case, it helped me greatly with palpitations. I had some palpitations. I had like a lot of stress, and related with work and life, and just like everything that we do as all the hats that we wear. Mom, wife, professional, entrepreneur, and etc. And it takes a toll. Definitely takes a toll in your own body. And for me, it got to a point that I actually went to the ER doctor because I thought I was having, like a heart attack. Turns out that, thank God it wasn't. And it was anxiety and stress related symptoms that I just couldn't control. So that's when I reached out to Moni because she was talking about this patch. And I was very reluctant at the beginning. I'm an engineer, so I need to know all the science behind it. I need to know exactly what it does. So I bombarded Moni with a lot of questions, and she was amazing, giving me all the information that I needed. And it was until she said, like, Vero, there's nothing that it's going into your skin. Like this is a patch that is non-transdermal. So meaning, like she said, it's not going, nothing is going in. There's no drugs, which for me is a huge win because, I have migraines as well, which is another benefit that I had. This does not cure my migraines, but it actually did reduce it to a level that I can just, take 1 or 2 Advils and that's it. Versus, those days that I was completely out for 3 or 5 days. And it was very recurrent. So when she said this is no drugs, so there was not going to be any side effects for me, I was like, all right, I'm in. Let me try it. So indeed I did. I asked her, like to get me an order, and I got the patches, and I started feeling like some effects are like around day 10. But again, because, like I'm an engineer, I was like, I don't know about this, but I'm going to give it a try. You have to be consistent. So I was like, I'm going to give it a fair try. So I gave the full month and I was blown away to the point that, my husband is also wearing it. I send it to a lot of family overseas, and we are not taking this off anymore. So we are in, and this has, it completely changed our lives. And my stress levels, I can tell you for sure, has not decreased. As a matter of fact, has increased exponentially. But I am here, I'm happy, I'm smiling, and it helped me a lot to control those stress levels to a point that it's called, like the happy patch. I am happy. I'm living my life with all the environment that we are around, and still can say, like, I can deal with this, and all of that is because of this. So I would encourage everybody to, like, if you're like me and you need to have more information, reach out to Moni. She's going to give you a lot of information. This company has truly a lot of studies done. There's a reason why it has, like 200 patents and more than 80 clinical studies. And then, like the biggest thing is that you're going to see people around you that are going to give you the testimonies like us, that you can see that it truly works. So I'm very grateful to have, come to this patch, to this company, and I can just look forward for what's coming, because the more you use the patch, the more chances you give to your body to actually heal itself, recover itself, and do the miracles that our bodies were actually built to do. So thank you, Moni. This was wonderful. I love you.
Thank you, Rito. I love you too. And one of the things with Vero's testimony, we are all going through so much stress for whatever, it could be work, it can be family. We all have some kind of stress. And the type of stress that she was going through was a lot. That's why she ended up in the hospital. And I can tell you her stress from, her life, it didn't get any easy. We can say it's actually getting a little bit worse, but she's been able to manage it and, obviously manage the palpitation. She's not having those problems. That's because of the patch, which is huge because stress can really do something really bad to your body. And that's what starts with different diseases, conditions. It's usually stress. So that is huge, Vero. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. One funny thing too, like she said, her husband uses it. And her husband loves to brag about many things that, he's noticed it. But the funny thing is his skin. You should see him, a very tough guy, military guy, and he's like, my skin is so nice and soft. It's the best thing. And I think his friends were noticing that. I always laugh about that. I love it.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Thank you. Cielo, where are you? I would love to hear your testimony, my friend, please.
Hi. Well, my name is Cielo. Moni showed me and told me about this patch. Before I jump to the best part of why this patch it was good for me, my daughter. I have a special needs child, and she told me, "Well, this patch can be helping your daughter." So I told her, "Yeah, I mean." She gave me the information. I searched for the information. I searched so many things, and I was happy with what I searched. But as a mom with special needs child kid, you try so many things with the child. You give it so many tries, and I always do a natural stuff because I am not a person of a medication. I respect that medicine, but I am not so much of medicine. So I was like, well, yeah, let me think about it. But then it was a long story short. Two persons talked to me about stem cells. Then I go back to my friend. I say, I'm going to give it a try, but first myself, because as a mom, you always put yourself like a test before you jump to your kids. So I did it. I start by, I think it was September, I tried myself and I said, I'm going to give it a month. The reason I tried myself is because my back, it's hurting like crazy since I have my daughter, right? She's 10 years old. So I have to pick her up because she don't walk by herself. She's not dependent, right? So I have to do all the job for her. And I was trying to see if this patch was really helping me. My goal in my head, it was like, if we really take away the pain from my back, then it's good to go for my daughter. So I try it. The 2 weeks and a half, I start feeling different. I mean, as in the pain, it was less. It was not completely all, but it was completely all out, but it was less. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it a try. But the reason I was start feeling is like the energy on myself, right? Like in the middle of the night, sometimes I have to wake up with my daughter. And then when I go back to my bed, I cannot go sleep. My sleep, it was completely bad. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours per day I can sleep. And it was frustrating because in the morning I wake up exhausted. I wake up with no energy. I wake up with, I don't want to do nothing because I don't feel the energy to do the stuff, right? But I still have to do it because I have children and a husband. So when I start seeing the progress of my energy keep going better and better and better, I was like, okay, well, this is a good try. And then at the point about my pain on my back, it's completely gone. I mean, it doesn't exist no more. I don't feel it. I know when I pick up my daughter, when every single time I pick up my daughter, I know exactly where it's going to hurt. And it was a really bad pain. And in my head, it was, I need to hold it and then just pick up my daughter because it was no option. But now it is no there at all. Like it's zero. And so for me, that was a big goal for me to say, okay, now I need to jump with my daughter because I'm pretty sure this can help her. At least, I mean, well, we always say, right? It's not going to be curing nobody, but it's going to help in some way. So I tried with my daughter, and that was the big goal for me. At 2 weeks, I start seeing notice difference on her. Her energy was getting better. Like my daughter always put her, she is like a turtle, right? When you talk to her or she was moving, it was so slow. The deletion she has, it delays every single step of her area. And that was the reason she can, I mean, she was doing stuff but extremely slow. I mean, she is not walking and she's not speaking. She has therapy, speech, occupation, and physical therapy to do that. So when I started using it, she was crawling everywhere in the house. My daughter was the type of person where you put her area, she stayed there all day. I mean, we don't need to be worry about nothing because she crawls all the way around, but she constantly stay in the same circle over and over and over. When I started using the pad, she was everywhere in the house. She started crawling up the stairs like she never did in her life. I mean, it was amazing to see her at the half of the stairs, happy because she was exploring different things she never explored. She was sleeping. Well, right now it's a new stuff start. Like 3 weeks ago, she starts sleeping before 10 o'clock. Before we have to put her sleep at 11:30, recommendations of doctors, because if we put her sleep early, but the midnight, she wake up and then she don't go sleep until later on. Well, now she's going to sleep before 10 o'clock and by herself. I mean, we don't need to do nothing with her. So that was amazing to see how her schedule, because, I mean, we removed the patch at 8 o'clock and it's so true about, they say, Gibby, when you remove the patch after 12 hours, like I put it at 8 o'clock in the morning, I take it off of 8 o'clock in the night. 2 hours later, like her body kind of relaxed so much and put her sleep without any issue. So that was amazing. In school, she's been having a lot of progress. Recently, I shared with Moni about one occupation therapy gave me a note saying, wow, because Zoe was doing activities where in the past, it has to be activities where she likes to use. Any toy she likes, any book she likes, but always has to be specifically something she likes to use. Whether they occupational therapy use a toy, it was a rings and it was a box. She has to put the rings on the box. She said it was amazing to see her grabbing the ring with one hand, open the box with the other hand, and put the ring in the box. She said it was amazing to see that step in her life. So for me, that type of details of goals, I know for sure this patch is helping her to get it, I can say, faster than before, right? Is getting development better than before. Communication with us. As a mom, I know what she wants every single time. If she's crying for hungry, if she needs to go potty, if she wants to play, I know what type of cry she does. But we always used buttons to communicate. We record our voice in the buttons, and in the buttons, we have to, press the button, like example, water and food. And then we have to see her reaction. And when she reacts with something, then we know she wants water or she wants food. But now she's doing by herself. We leave the buttons. Well, we have buttons everywhere. We leave the buttons and she crawls over there, press the buttons when she's thirsty, press the button if she wants somebody to play with her, if she's hungry, she goes potty. So it is amazing. She understands now the communication we're having with her. It is between the buttons and herself and ourselves, right? Because it's the way she can receive what she wants to do at that time. The walking, it's amazing to see the balance she's been having. I share with Moni every single step of the goals. I always like, Moni, she did this, Moni, she did that.
She used to not walk, right?
Exactly. She was not walking. She was walking with a walker. And we need to kind of move her we have a kind of string in the back, and then we bounce her to turn or go straight, because she was always going and bunk everywhere. And her balance, it was not there. The hips and her hips, it was not strong enough to support any person walking with her. Now we walk by hand. I mean, it's so close. It's this close to start walking by herself. And that is a big step I saw. And at that point, I thought, this patch is doing that, because we've been working years and years, I mean, since she born, in her life, about therapists and doing activities in the house and taking therapists everywhere. And in less than 5 months, because I started in October. By the way, I think, yeah, we're going to do 6 months now using that patch. And the difference of her walking, I mean, with a hand, if we grab her hips, it is doing that. Now my husband goes far away from me. We put her in the middle and she's doing 8 steps by herself, like she ever did it in the past. It is amazing to see the progress she's been having in just 6 months, right? I've been seeing so many testimonies of people who using the patch with kids, with special need kids, and for years, and how the progress is beyond amazing. And I can't wait to see what my daughter, it comes more time, right? I told him, I have the patch over here, but I told Moni, I am not stopping. You know, I see what I want for my daughter. And I try so many things. Nothing never worked like this patch. And what I like most is it doesn't have drugs, no medicine, no chemicals, nothing enter to your body. Everything is just the light of your body, you know, return back to you and use it as a good thing for me and my daughter. But for right now, I just want to share, because I know it is a lot of people probably who they have autism kids, or they have special need kids, or just kids doing any type of activity, right? And they have the energy, the boost. This one really helped. For me, I sleep better. I have the energy in the day. My mind, I have really clear mind. I remember everything I'm doing and what I have to go to the store. And before I remember, I go to the store, 5 things I bring forward. And then when I'm in the car, like, oh my gosh, I forgot this. Now it's so clearly like I have to go 5 stuff, come back home, and it's been done. And seeing my daughter with the progress she's been having, I mean, I am just beyond amazing to be part of this company too, because I know for sure, you know, this is the beginning of a journey. I always tell Moni, I have a book where I write everything for my daughter for that reason, because this journey is the best journey I ever see on my daughter. And I am not going to stop, because this is amazing to share, to see. And I thank Moni, because if it was not for her, I never know about this patch in the past. So I appreciate you push me and help me to guide me and put me on this path. So thank you so much, Moni.
Thank you for trusting me. And the other thing I think you forgot to say, that she's eating by herself now.
Oh, yes.
That's big too.
That one, it wasn't the second week. It was the first goal she makes. In 2 weeks, this is the first goal she make. Before, we have to put food in the spoon, and then she bring it to her mouth. But it was slowly and trying, and then she tossed the spoon all the time. Now she grabbed the spoon, just, you know, she scoop it, put it in her mouth, and then grab more, and she keep doing it over and over. And now, I mean, I'm cooking, she's eating, or we are eating all together, and we don't need to be worried because she's doing by herself. But yeah, that's the first goal she did. She did when it was 2 weeks using the patch.
It's amazing. And I know you have a lot more to tell, because you have it in your notes, but thank you for sharing. Cielo for me was super special, because obviously I know what she goes through with her daughter. I know her daughter goes to school with my kids too. And when I invited her to one of the first presentations that I did in my house, she heard all about it. She asked questions, and she said, yeah, I'm going to think about it. Of course, right? It's hard to believe. And then she saw somebody at school, another parent that has a kid with special needs too, that he was doing so much better than what he was in the past, right, Cielo?
Yes.
And she asked, what did you do? And the mom said, don't tell anybody. But we went somewhere else, another country, I think, and injected stem cells. That's what I was telling you, that so many people do, and it's so expensive. And yes, there's a risk that it may not work, because it's not your own stem cells. And that's when she remembered. She's like, oh, Moni, now it's all coming up to, together. And she came to another presentation too. She heard Vero, and she's like, okay, this is what I'm going to try.
Yes.
But the nice thing too is, I was going to say something and I forgot about that. I lost my train. But yes, it was amazing how she ended up trusting. Oh no, you told me, because I remember when she was already using the patches, I told her, tell me every single detail for, as little as it is, because I know it could be little for the rest of the people, but for her and her family is huge. And the first time that she told me, it was I think 2 weeks after she called me. She told me a few things that Zoe was doing. I started to cry. My kids were in the car. They were like, "What's going on?" It was so special. I cannot find the word, but to help your friends' kids, it's another level. It's one thing, yes, to help your family, you help your kids, but their kids, it just has another, I don't know, another meaning. So thank you, girls, for sharing your testimonies. They are amazing. Thank you. And this is why we are so excited to be here with you tonight, sharing these testimonies like this, changing families' lives, being able to help people in so many ways. So thank you, girls, again, girls, for sharing your testimonies. But one thing that I do want to clarify, we're not saying that the patches cure these health conditions or any, but these are the personal results that each one of us is experiencing since we started using this amazing technology. So I'm going to open it for any questions if anybody has any questions. I know this has been longer than I thought. Sorry. If anybody has any questions, let me stop sharing. All right. Any questions? My daughter is calling me.
I do have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Jasmine. Yes.
Hi. I was just wondering if it's safe for pregnant women or nursing moms.
We nursing moms, yes. Pregnant, we always recommend to wait until the baby's born. The only 3 times that we say don't use it is while you're pregnant, if you are under chemotherapy, while you are using it under the treatment of chemotherapy. After that, it's okay. And when you had some kind of transplant, like organ transplant, those are the 3 times. So yes, until you're done with the pregnancy, until the baby's born, then you can start using it. But when you're nursing, totally fine.
Hey, Moni,
Okay.
let me chime in just to again, like I wanted to know why, right? And I don't know, Jasmine, if like why, or you wanted to know why we say those 3 type of people shouldn't do it, right? So for pregnant women, it is not recommended because the studies were not done in pregnant women. So we don't know if this could be jeopardizing the development of the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's no studies on pregnant women. So that's why we would rather say don't do it while you are pregnant. Nursing, we know that there's a lot of moms that are nursing. There's no issues, no problems. For the other 2, no-nos, which is, people that are going under chemo and the persons that actually had some type of transplant, it's the same reason why not. Because when you're going under chemo or when you have a transplant, what they give you is immunosuppressors. So they give you medications that are shutting down your immune system so you don't reject the new organ, which is from someone else, or you don't reject the chemicals for chemo that are going to try to target the cancer cells, right? What this stem cell does is actually increase your immune system. So that's when you have this patch, you usually tend to get sick less. So that's why we say we don't want to do that contradiction. So those are the only 3. Sorry, I just wanted to interrupt.
No, thank you. Perfect. Because you can explain it so much better than me. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even think about, the why, so I appreciate you sharing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions?
Yes, ladies, thank you so much for all your presentation. It was very amazing to hear all of this. I have 2 questions. First is, what you doctors say about it when, for example, Moni, what the doctor of your dad or your doctor for your, stomach, for your problems, when you mention then, the patch, you think the patch is working with them. What the doctor think about it?
So it all depends on the doctor. All the doctors, for sure, the first time they hear, they're like, no, that can't be possible. A sticker, it can't be possible. So we have one of the doctors that we have many doctors in our team, actually, but one specific one that she does a lot of presentations. She's the first one that, she said, no, that is, what did she say? Voodoo, right? Voodoo medicine, it cannot happen. So, my friend keep insisting, saying, hey, we've seen this testimonies. My mother-in-law is getting better from all of this and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay, let me try it, because they were close friends. She tried it, and she's the one that started feeling, her pain from her arthritis better, her mom. And like that, doctors at the beginning don't believe it. Most of them don't. So they need to see the obviously testimonies from their patients. They need to see the science behind the patch. Because once you start explaining, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. And they're like, oh, okay, I've studied light therapy. Like, for example, this friend, the same that I was saying, she's a pediatrician. So she uses light therapy for kids with jaundice, right? When they're yellow in the hospital. It's a different type of light. I think it's a blue light. And different, like there's so many, there's even spas where you can choose the color of the light that you want to treat different things, right? So the doctor needs to be open-minded for, holistic care kind of thing. Many doctors, and especially what we've learned, when they just come out of medical school, they're like very like book oriented and nothing works besides medication, So it depends on the doctors. It takes a while until they start seeing, they need to see the results, and then they need to study the science. And yes, we have a lot of all kinds of specialties. We have from chiropractors, pediatricians, gynecologists, everything. So it's a matter of them being open-minded.
Okay.
Anything you want to chip in? I know you're the good one for this.
Yeah, and one more thing is, how about with people who have the immune disease, like Lyme's or lupus, where the immune system attack them? So, is this good for this type of people?
It's good for everybody. Honestly, it's good for everybody except for the three, situations that we said, because as you get your stem cells awake, they are like little soldiers in your body. They know exactly where to go to help to heal in your body. They know what's wrong. So they go there, and that's where they your stem cells start focusing on treating whatever bad thing is happening in your body. So yes, I mean, obviously we cannot say, oh my God, it's going to help and it's going to heal this condition. But what we've been seeing is that, yes, if you have something going on in your body, you are going to see results with whatever is going on. Everybody's different. So you've seen Cielo with her daughter. For me, it was my stomach. Vero with her stress. So it all depends on what the person's need is.
Great. Yes. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you, Monica.
Any more questions?
Yeah, are you gonna share the presentation?
I'm gonna what? Share?
Yes.
Yes. We're recording it, right? I put it to record. Yes, I can send it, of course.
Appreciate it. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Hi, I just have one more question.
Yes.
I know Cielo's, is that how you pronounce your name? Cielo's daughter, it gave her a lot of energy. My daughter, who has autism, who I'm planning to use it for, she already has like a lot of energy. So I was just wondering if the patch works differently for individuals, works differently for everybody, or what's the effect?
It works differently. It's like it knows. It's kind of like, think about it. Your stem cells, they do like a scan in your body, and they see, oh, okay, here's where there's a problem, and that's where they go and they start helping. So it's different for everybody. Everybody has a different situation. So I'm sure your daughter wouldn't be having more energy. That's something that we would need to see specifically with her, what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the case with her. I think it would be more focusing on what things she's, I don't want to say lacking, but maybe, not doing, that would start to, like in Cielo's daughter's case, she was a little slow. She was, she couldn't eat. So focusing more on the things that your daughter needs.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, the patch is really going to help in the way your daughter needs it, right? If you search for autism cases with this patch, you're going to find so many information with a lot of persons where be using the patch with autism kids is being helping in different ways, right? Because I know for sure with autism, they have a lot of swallowing in the brain, and the patch, what it does is kind of going to slow down, reduce the swelling so the brain can start working better. With the energy, I'm pretty sure can help, to calm if it's too much. It is pretty smart, this patch. It is so smart. They go directly exactly what your kid needed. In my case, my daughter was slow. my case, I need the energy. He give me the energy, but it depends so much on what your body needs. But it's pretty amazing how this patch is pretty smart to do the job it has to do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing.
And one thing, Jasmine, one thing that could be good for you if you're going to try it, instead of using the 12 hours with your daughter, try using it less. Start with, I would say, maybe 10 or 9, early in the morning, so you can take it early in the afternoon before night. So then she has a few hours to, get her, I wouldn't say, start getting tired, get all the energy back. So I would say that starting just with less time, not the 12 hours that we always say to everybody, and see how it goes. If she's okay, you can increase, a little bit more until it gets to 12 hours. But I would say start slow, a little bit, every time, and see how it goes.
Okay.
What I recommend, I start in a weekend, right? I started in a Saturday, and then so I can monitor if I see change, if I see something I was like I do not like how she is acting. But yeah, you keep monitor for 2 days at least. So if she goes back to school on Monday, at least you are for sure know the patch is doing the great job on your daughter or your son. The only thing I can mention, I don't know if you mentioned money, but it's drinking a lot of water. It's really, really important, or electrolytes, because that's the way to help. Yeah, just the liquid is really, really important for the body.
Okay.
Yes, drinking water is very important. We already don't drink enough water, so we need to make sure we are very hydrated.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? No, I think we're good. Well, thank you, friends, for being here. Thank you for your testimonies, girls. Thank you for being here and listening to us share this amazing technology that we've been very passionate sharing with everybody that we know. If you have any questions, please contact the person that invited you. We're here, happy to help and share more. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, good evening.